What's up, it's you? For today's video, with a full download ability Pokemon team. So there's only 4 Pokemon that have the download ability, and that is the Porygon line plus Genesect. That's it. Maybe in Gen 9 we need some more download Pokemon. That'd be pretty cool. So download randomly boosts your attack or your special attack based on the foe's weaker defensive stats. So it's a little bit about depending on luck and what the Pokemon is. If you want your own custom theme team or Pokemon sweep, you can check it out at patreon.com/PIMPNITE. Links in the description of the video, tier 2 and above. So I've got 3 battles with the download ability team today, and I really hope you enjoy. So with the movesets I was going to be using today, I wanted to take advantage of using all mix sets because I didn't really know what boost I was going to get. Now, question of the day, people right here, who's going to be able to answer it? How many times did I get the download ability to activate in all 3 battles, alright? I was going to spring it on people at the end, but I thought, nah, that'd be mean. Okay, so the first battle, this is against Evan, and we got a Gourgeist versus Porygon lead. Make sure you download this video after this. Now, I'm going to go for a Zap Cannon, Blizzard, Thunder, and Giga Impact set here. And what we got is the Max Attack and Max Special Attack EVs. And I ran this as Brave Nature and Item Everlight. So this is pretty cool. So the Gourgeist is going to go for a skill swap. Gourgeist with download on your P-Rush Channel there. And it's going to get a boost in its attack, which is actually pretty good because it's a good attacker. So now Gourgeist is going to dodge a Blizzard. Unfortunately, a couple of Blizzards dodged there. And now it's going to go for a Bullet Seed. So Bullet Seed is going to be hitting me pretty hard here. If I wasn't running Everlight, I would have been in, like, really dire straits. I would have fainted. Absolutely would have fainted. Even the 3 hits, that probably would have taken me out. So go for the Blizzard there, and that hits Gourgeist really hard, but it managed to live, but I got a freeze access. So I put the Pumpkin in the freezer, and then I was like, wait, does it have a Lumberry? You wouldn't read about it, but it's got a berry, and that is going to be the Egg Wave berry. So that was good. Like, it's going to be frozen solid. So then I went for another Blizzard, and it missed. I was like, man, that really sucks. I hope this thing doesn't thaw out before I, like, you know, obviously take it out, or I run out of Blizzards. That was my fear there. Good thing is I managed to land the next one, and that's going to be the end of Gourgeist. So a pretty, solid start to the battle there. Pardon the pun, ice is solid and stuff like that. So next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Tapu Lele. And upon Tapu Lele coming into the field, it's going to have the Psychic Terrain appear. So I don't know what sort of set this is going to be, and I don't really think Porygon is going to live this matchup. If it does, I could go for a Zap Cannon, and that's what I went for. Unfortunately, it's going to be a physical set, so broken, and it takes me out. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. So that's going to be the end of my Porygon. Next in is Porygon2. Now, this set is a mix set too, and I'm going to get a download boost in my attack this time, which is great. So I've got Facade, Facade and Protect, Shadow Ball, and Charge Beam. I was thinking about using Recover on this, but I can sort of change my mind about the end. So go for Protect it. It's good to use Protection, and that's going to give me my Flame Orb there. So that's going to boost the power of Facade, and it's going to be hitting really hard because I got that +1 in attack. So Tapu Lele is going to go for the Psycho Cut here. It does actually really good damage there. I would have not liked to get hit by a crit there. And it's going to get one shot. Now, I don't know whether that was a choice band set, but it was hitting really hard. Like, Tapu Lele's attack, it really isn't that good. I've run physical ones before. So that's the end of that. Next Pokemon is going to be Rhydon. Now, this might be a theme team as well, if you can guess it. If it is one, let me know in the comment section too. And if you enjoyed the vids, people, that like button's not going to hit itself. So we got Shadow Ball virtually doing nothing there. I was like, well, I wonder if Facade would have done the same amount. So probably not, because Rhydon's defense is really good. So that's the end of my Porygon2 there. That's all right. I seem to get a little bit of damage on it. It's better than nothing, right? So swapping in my Porygon-Z, we're going to get another download boost here, and I'm going to get a special attack boost. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. So this is a double-edged Zen Headbutt, Uproar, Dark Pulse. So like, well, I can't really use Uproar because that's not very effective. I could go for a Dank Pulse Flinch. That could work. So now the Rhydon's going to use Protect. It's good to use Protection. The EVs on this were Max Speed, and I've got Naive Nature and Max Special Attack. I've got the item Parison Berry for Uproar. So obviously if I get confused, the Parison Berry will kick in there. And I've got the ability download, which of course you never knew. So go for the Dank Pulse here on the Rhydon there, and it does really good damage. It's going to go for a Stone Mist now, which actually lands, and Porygon-Z is just going to live that, just due to its natural bulk. So go for a Disrespect Uproar here, and that is going to be the end of the Rhydon. And I've got a crit too, because actually that crit could have mattered. So bye-bye Rhydon, that's half the team down. I've got 2 more Pokemon left, and my Porygon-Z, it's making an uproar, people. Next Pokemon is going to be Hippowdon. So Hippowdon's going to have this Sandstream going. Now, this is actually kind of good because I've got a special attack boost here. I can go for Uproar. So Uproar hits really, really hard. That was excellent, excellent damage. And now Hippowdon, it's gone for a round all around, and it's going to take my Porygon2 out. It's like, okay, it's got round, it's got out throat spray. It's definitely a special attacking Hippowdon. Like, I know that. I know the special Hippowdon move pool really, really well. Next Pokemon is Genesect. It's my last one here, and I got to say, Genesect Shiny looks absolutely awesome. So getting a download boost there in special attack. Now, once again, we got a mixed moveset here. We got Shift Gear, Techno Blast, normal, Bug Buzz, and Iron Head. Now, I had the Occa Berry as the item. I was thinking about running Throat Spray, but I thought that might be a little bit too broken, so I didn't run it. So going for Shift Gear here. Now, the cool thing about Shift Gear is because I'm running max attack and max special attack, and I think this has got hasty nature, and I've got the Shift Gear boosting my speed, so making up for that no EVs and speed and giving my attack a little bit more of a boost. So that's going to be the end of the Hippowdon. I didn't want to get hit by another attack there, and I pretty much have to go for a Dynamax here. So out comes Behemoth. What? That's shiny? What even changed? What changes on Behemoth? Let me have a look at that for a second. Maybe it's... Does its eyes and fingertips change color? That was really, really, very, very similar. So go for, well, yeah, I guess you could say a Desperation Dynamax here. I don't want the big bad Behemoth living this one, so I can go for just Bug Buzz, basically. I wanted to, as I said, I wanted to have the Throat Spray in there, but I thought, say if I got, imagine this, I swapped Genesect in, and then I get a special attack boost from download, and then I used U-turn. That'd be so powerful, and I didn't really want to do that, because that would easily wipe teams. So that's the end of Behemoth there. A very short-lived visit there from outer space. And next Pokemon is going to be Hefty, and that is Garbodor. Oh, it's shiny too. Shiny trash, you know. So interestingly, they didn't Dynamax. I was like, wow, okay, this is going to do a lot. So I went for the, that was the Iron Head there, the Max Steel Spike. Almost took it out. Very, very close. So getting a defensive boost, which is always good. And Garbodor is going to eat a berry. And that is going to be, in Citrus Berry? No, Iapa Berry. Okay, Iapa Berry. Now Garbodor is going to go for a stockpile. It's like, okay. I'd say they're going to Dynamax this turn. So this is some sort of set based around stockpile. I don't really know what it's going to be. The Sandstorm is gone as well. So now I was like, is this going to be G-Max Garbodor? Well, it won't be able to use any poison type moves, which, you know, kind of puts it at a bit of a disadvantage there. It's going to have to use some sort of coverage move. And I don't really know what it's going to be. This is going to be my turn. I go for the Max Steel Spike again. It's like, I wonder if this will live. I think it's just going to live on a tiny little bit of health here, but it may go for Max Guard. It also goes for Max Guard. That's like, okay, that's fair enough. I kind of saw that one coming because that's like the last turn of my Dynamax, you know. So that's the end of Genesect's Dynamax. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go for a Techno Blast because I may as well. It's my, highest base power move. And Techno Blast actually crits the Garbodor and takes it out. I'm not really sure what that Garbodor was going to do there, if it had enough, I don't know, just damage to take me out there. I was sort of curious what it was. So maybe my opponent can, put that in the comment section of the video. Thank you, Evan, for the battle there. And it possibly was an unlucky crit there. Maybe it would have lived that. I think it had a reasonable chance for sure. Next battle here, this is against Blok-Hed, and we have a very interesting team here. We've got an Impidimp lead. That's still a Gen 8 Pokemon. I still got to do that Impidimp sweep there. I think there's about one person who's been commenting on Impidimp sweep for a long time, like since Sword and Shield came out. Anyway, we're going to go and get a download boost here. I got an attack boost, and then he used foul play. I'm like, oh, that's just dirty. That's making use of my attack boost. So pop a gear impact here on your PIMPNITE channel, and that's going to be the end of Impidimp. I was half expecting like a scummy Focus Sash, but it didn't have one, so that's good. Next Pokemon is going to be Impidimp number 2. So I was like, okay. This is a Impidimp evolution team. And yes, I have done one of these before. I did it probably, I want to say I did this about 10 months to a year ago. Like, I've done all the Gen 8 lines. So it's going to be a Metronome set, and it's going to use Metronome Howl. It's like, okay, that's going to boost his attack. Now, it's already got a special attack boost already on my recharge. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go for Giga Impact again. I may as well, you know. So that's going to easily take it out. But this time, this one has a Focus Sash. Like, okay, well, that's not too hard. I can always take that out. So now it's going to wiggle its little blue finger. Wait, and now what it's going to go for is Tri Attack, which is quite ironic considering I'm using a Porygon. And it hits me pretty hard, but it doesn't take me out. But it's another freeze axe. I was like, oh, that's really, really sucks. So I've got to recharge, plus I'm frozen. I'm trying to let it go. And here comes another Metro, and it gets surfed. So I've got two really good special moves there in a row. This thing's actually a threat. So with the Prankster ability too, you can use Prankster Metronome. I've actually done a Morgram sweep. If you've never seen that before, it's a really, really good example of the Metronome Prankster. Quite a good sweep too, if you never checked it out there. A little low-key plug, but excellent one to check out. So we're going to bring in the Porygon2 here, get a attack boost. I was like, okay, that's good. You know, that's my facade set. So using projection, yeah, it's always good to do that. And Impidimp is obviously going to go for Metronome again. Now, the move the Impidimp got this time is Magic Code. So I wasn't going to use his status there, of course, but imagine if he did. That'd be very, very mean. So now it's going to go for Metronome again. What moves is it going to get this time? And it gets Fire Lash. Like, wow, that's actually pretty good. So now it's going to get the Fire Lash, and it's going to drop my my defense. Now, remember, it actually got a boost from Howl earlier on. So that actually did a fair bit of like more damage than it would have done without that. So going for a Charge Beam here, and that's the end of the Impidimp. I thought I'd just boost up my special attack in case, so I could become a powerful mixed attacker. Now, since my defense is at -1, I'm a little bit prone to any physical moves. So out comes Morgram. Actually, I want to say Impidimp's actually got a really good, and so has Morgram. They got really good shinies. Like, even Grimstar shiny's pretty good too. So that's going to throw up a sub there. And what this Grimstar was doing, it kept using Substitute all the time. They were either stalling out my damage on the burn, or they were trying to sub down to a berry, or just a combination of both. And, they may as well keep doing that, because they're outspeeding me with the, obviously the Metronome. Not the Metronome, the Prankster Subtube. It's really cool how Prankster works today. So now it's going to go for this. I think this is its final substitute, and now it's going to eat a berry. So it's going to be getting a Pinch Berry, and it's going to boost up its attack. So it's a Leechy Berry. I was like, oh man, this is bad. I've got a -1 in defense, and I'm on a low amount of health, and they've got a +1 in attack. So I'm definitely going to fade to a physical type move. It's just, it depends what it actually has. I'm sure it's got a physical move because that Leechy Berry. So I'm at around half health now. Now they're going to go for False Surrender. You don't see False Surrender very often, and that's going to be the end of the Porygon2. I guess because it's a signature move. So that's 2 of my Pokemon down. I've got 2 left. We're going to bring in the big Porygon Z here, and we're going to download that Porygon picture and get an attack boost. Okay, so now it's going to use Sucker Punch. So it's got Sucker Punch and False Surrender. So nice. That does a lot of damage to me as well. Going for the Double Edge, and that is going to be the end of Morgram. So that's half the team gone. I still have 2 Grimmsnarl to deal with and another Morgram too. Next Pokemon is the Morgram. Great shiny, looks absolutely awesome. I think it's just that blue, that light blue. I mean, I'm quite partial to blue. I like the color blue. I like blue and black. They're probably my 2 favorite colors. You know what? Second question today. What's your favorite color? Like, you can put 2 down if you don't have like a specific favorite one. But I really like blue and black. I think they're really nice colors. So that's the end of Porygon Z. Last Pokemon is Genesect. At this stage, I was like, do I want to play any games against this thing? I hope it, I've got Ockerberry if one of them had a fire type move there, and I got an attack boost. I'm like, well, let's just go for Iron Head and finish this off right. So that's the end of the Morgram. So 2 Grimmsnarls left. You have to assume that one of these Grimmsnarls is probably going to be G-Max too, and probably uses its G-Max snooze move. So next Pokemon, wow, it's a Grimmsnarl. I did wait for a Desperation Dynamax here. I had to go for it because I wasn't really sure if they were going to Dynamax this turn, either predicting my Dynamax. So with this, I can go for the Max Steel Spike, and that'll be super effective, and it'll hit very, very hard to boost my defense too. So that was the go here. So Dynamaxing. Now the Grimmsnarl is going to be making use of its Prankster and using Reflect. Like, damn, that really, really sucks. Unfortunately, with this Genesect set, I didn't really have... make sure you say Genesect set very slowly. You might say something else. Back to the battle. I don't really have a fighting type move to boost the attack like in Dynamax, so I'm sort of reliant on using Shift Gear, and I didn't really want to do that against Grimmsnarl. So Grimmsnarl is going to have the leftovers right there, and the next one's going to take it out. Now it's going to go for a Metro. It's another Metro one, and it's going to use Rock Throw. Oh, thank goodness it didn't use like... Imagine if it used like, I don't know, like freaking... a Flare Blitz or something like that. I mean, it did have Ockerberry, but it would have been nasty. So that's the end of the Green Goblin. Now, there's one more Pokemon to go, and that's going to be the Grimmsnarl. Now, I'm kind of curious if they're going to use Max Guard first turn, or if they don't have any status moves at all. I guess that's the thing about Dynamax. It is beneficial sometimes to have a status move if you do plan to Dynamax because you can always stall like a turn out of a very, very threatening Pokemon, or say they've used Dynamax for 2 turns and you could Dynamax and max guard. It's always very handy to be able to do that, you know. That's one thing about Dynamax. I don't know, I'd say if you're thinking of Dynamaxing, it's always good to have a status move there, just in case, unless you're just full out sweeping, you know, and you don't give a crap about anything, you're just sweeping, you know, Airstream and Knuckle or Ooze. So it's going to go for, I went for Max Flutterby there to try and drop its special defense. Sorry, special attack, because I thought it might be a special attacking one, but they blocked it. I was like, okay, well, let's go for Iron Head here. I wish I could get a flinch here. That was excellent damage, by the way, on the Yeti. Look at those legs. Like, you know that Grimstyle has a missed leg day. So it's going to go for a G-Max Snooze, and that does a fair bit of damage to me there. I'm going to go for a final Iron Head. It doesn't crit, unfortunately, and that is going to be the end of my Genesect. It was a pretty good battle here, but unfortunately that reflect that the Grimstyle set up earlier on, you know, was... it stole my Ockerberry too with Pickpocket. That was interesting. I like Pickpocket. Actually, have I done a Pickpocket ability Pokemon team? I really want to do that if I haven't done one. I'm going to check afterwards. I know there might be a real avid PIMPNITE viewer out there that's watched all my videos and know that, but yeah, I actually kind of want to do it. It's very situational though. Maybe I've done it. Now I'm really I really want to know if I've done it. Oh, this is a funny battle because the trainer's name was Porygon2. I was like, oh, I got a present for you. My whole team's Porygon Everlight. So this is a team as well. So if you can guess what it is, leave it below in the comment section of the video. So we got a Taurus lead here. I think this is a battle against Tire Man as well. I'm pretty sure that's what the username was. And I'm going to get a special attack boost here. So now the Taurus is going to go for a workup. So it's either a physical set or a special set. You're not really going to know until you see what happens, right? So what I'm going to do here is go for a Zap Cannon, and it actually landed. I was like, wow, that's really, really lucky. And I got that automatic Paralyze and a good chunk of damage on Taurus. Taurus is going to be a special set with Fire Blast. It still outspeeds me too, which is pretty funny. And Blizzard is going to be enough to take out the Taurus. It's funny because Thunder and Blizzard were most accurate moves there. So that Porygon was like deemed for disaster most of the time. Now the next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Ribombee. It's got its little red scarf on there. It's pretty cool. And now we've got a screen, which is going to be light screen. So I went for Giga Impact because I had a little feeling it might have Quiver Dance or maybe a screen. And I was a pretty good guess there. So Giga Impact does very good damage. Now the Ribombee is going to go for a Draining Kiss. It doesn't really do too much there. It is healing it up though. But I feel like 2 more Giga Impacts will be able to take it out. I mean, there is a bit of recharge there. So I was like... I'm not going to wait all that time again, so I'm just going to swap into Porygon Z. So getting my download boost there, and I get an attack. I was like, oh, okay, that's perfect. Now it's going to use Reflect. So it turned out the Ribombee had the Light Clay as the item, so it was going to make the Reflect and Light Screen go for 8 turns. So getting kissed again by Ribombee, and that's usually doing pretty good damage to me. So this is not as bulky as that Porygon I had before with Everlight. So I had to go for Double Edge here to get some damage, and after, that Reflect saved it because that definitely would have fainted. So it's going to obviously go for another Draining Kiss here, but this thing was quite a pain to deal with. It was doing good damage with Draining Kiss, healing itself up, and it had, the screens up too. So it's not a bad set there, pretty well thought out. So I'm going to go for another Double Edge there, and that's going to be the end of, how do I say this? Amanzoka. Okay, I'm probably messing up. Okay, so taking some recall damage there. Just forget about my pronunciation, right? Next Pokemon is going to be Nuwa. Did I say that right? Nuwa? Or Nuwa? Noah? It's got to be Nuwa or Noah. So Rayquaza's coming here, and I went for Double Edge. I lived on 1 health, and Dragon Tail misses. I'm like, what is this Rayquaza? So now I'm going to go for a Dank Pulse. I had a plan here. I was like, I'm going to try and stall out the screens by flinching this Rayquaza, and I got one. I was like, wow, that's super lucky. And so I thought, well, there's only one turn left here for one of the screens. I think it was the light screen. So that's the end of my Porygon Z. And Dragon Tail's going to hit nothing, so that's going to fail. So the light screen's gone. Like, okay, that's good. So finally I can start using some special moves and they'll hit reasonably hard. So I was like, swapping in the Porygon here, I got a attack boost. Like, oh, that doesn't matter. I can go for Blizzard. And then the Rayquaza went for Blizzard. I was like, oh, so that's the end of my Porygon, you know? So bye-bye Porygon. We both thought of using Blizzard. How salty would that have been if Blizzard missed on Rayquaza, but then I landed on mine? That would have been quite funny. So next Pokemon to come in here is going to be my Porygon2. I kind of left my not my Rayquaza. Rayquaza would download. That would have been broken. Like, seriously. Imagine you swap it in and it gets like an attack boost. That's, yes, very broken. Definitely do that one, Game Freak. So my Reflector's gone there. What I was saying before, I kept my Genesect in the back a lot because it's quite good for getting that shift gear up, and then Dynamax, especially because I only had 4 Pokemon too. So that's going to be the end of Rayquaza to the Facade. Next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Zacian, and this is where things started to go pear-shaped, trust me. So it's going to get a +1 in attack to swap again, and it's going to have Laser Focus. I'm like, oh, the next hit's going to be a crit. Now, the only good thing about this Porygon2 set, I mean, Facade was actually doing really good damage considering, was the fact I could go for Protector, so the next hit wouldn't be a crit to use that. I thought, well, I might be able to leave 1 attack from Zacian in, depending what it is. And as Ice Fang, it's like, okay, Ice Fang, that's going to hurt with 100% crit and a +1 in attack. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go for Facade again. Here comes a Ice Fang, and that's a lot of damage. So I figured Facade would do the most damage on this set anyway, and it's a 4-hit K, so it's pretty respectable amount of damage there. So Zacian is going to be able to take me out with Ice. I'm not sure what this set's based on. I think it might be a flinching set, on like maybe flinch moves. Laser Focus and Ice Fang. So that's it for Porygon2. Last Pokemon is Genesect. Now, I was really scared. I was like, I don't know if I want to go, like, risk the shift gear here. I was like, man, I got a download boost in special attacks. Like, that's not too bad. It's going to have Thunder Fang. So it's got Thunder Fang and Ice Fang. It flinched me. I was like, man, I have to Dynamax here. I was like, I'm going to lose. Like, so I had to Dynamax the Genesect. What I was going to do is go for shift gear there. And then I would have outsped the Zacian and then gone for Dynamax after. I mean, I was prepared to take a hit, but I wasn't prepared to get a flinch and then automatically lose after. So I go for Dynamax. Like, this is desperation, right? So the next, watch this, right? So Zacian then goes for Thunder Fang again. I take it kind of poorly, and then it paralyzed me. I was like, wow, that's really lucky getting the flinch and then the paralyze. That's super good luck. I went for Max Steel Spike. I was like, oh, please take this thing out. Please take this thing out. And it is like, phew. Zacian's such a scary Pokemon. Like, even with, like, you know, meme movesets on it, it's just really, really good. Guys, we're going to take the Pokemon out of Generation 8, and then we're going to balance it by putting Zacian in. Okay, just wanted to say it. Next Pokemon is going to be Bishop. Watch this. You wouldn't read about this. So it's going to have the pressure. I was like, okay, I've lost this. And then he uses Grass. I'm like, what would he use Grass Knot for? Like, obviously, I'm in Dynamax, so, you know, that's not going to affect me, but keep watching. So I went for the Max Flutterby there. Almost took it out. It was very, very close. So Bishop is just going to be able to live that one. It's a good thing it doesn't have Defiant, too. So the next move it uses Poison Jab. It's like, oh, it's got no moves here to Genesect with. It has Grass Knot and Poison Jab, so it must have, like, other status moves. So I guess that's why they set it in there, to stall out the last couple of turns of my Dynamax. Here comes the Grass Knot. I was like, oh, if I lose to Grass Knot Bishop using a Genesect, I'm probably going to quit Pokemon. So going for the shift gear here, boosting my speed by 2 stages. And my attack by 1. Now, I already had an attack boost, and then I got paralyzed. Like, okay, I'll be able to leave another Grass Knot here. Thank goodness Poison Jab can't hit me. So here comes another Grass Knot. I was like, oh, okay, this is good. Like, let's go for my attack. And then I got paralyzed. Like, oh, no. So now Bishop's going to use Grass Knot again. I was like, oh, am I going to live this one? It's going to be close. And I lived on 2 health. Like, don't get paralyzed here. And I didn't, thank goodness. So I went for a Disrespect Techno Blast because Bishop caused me so much trouble with Grass Knot. So bye-bye Bishop. And there's one more Pokeball left, and it was a Arcanine. I was like, okay, well, I'm good to go with my Techno Blast here. It's going to have Intimidate. Doesn't really matter. I was going to use a special move anyway. So firing off that Techno Blast at the Arcanine, and this thing was thick. It was definitely Assault Vested, and now it's going to snarl at me, and that's the end of the Genesect. And that's the end of the 3rd battle. Hope you enjoyed it, people. I'll be back to tomorrow with another video, and peace out. Download this video.